types. Firstly, it's creational, structural, and behavioral. But in our lesson in object-oriented programming, we just need to talk about only 3 design patterns that you need to include into your project, depending on how much members you have at the group. Firstly, creational design pattern. This pattern is designed for class information. They can be either class creational pattern or object creational pattern. About it, let's talk about singleton design pattern. This is a creational pattern whose objective is to create only one instance of the class and to provide only one global access point to the object. And one commonly used example of such class in Java is a calendar, where you cannot make an instance of the class. It also uses its own getInstance method for get an object to be used. In class, using the singleton design pattern include firstly private static variable holding the only instance of the class, a private constructor so it cannot be instantiated anywhere else, and public static method to return a single instance of the class. And there are a lot of different implementation of singleton design, but I want to show you 3 of them. Firstly, it's where is that? Eager singleton, lazy singleton, and thread safe singleton. How you can see here at the first implementation, eager instantiation, I created the class eager singleton. Here we have, I created the instance of the class that is private. Also, I created private constructor, so it cannot be instantiated outside the class. And here I get only instance of the object created. This type of instantiation happens during class loading. The instantiation of the variable instead happen outside any method. And this poses hefty drawback if this class is not being used at all by the client application. And the contingency plan, if this class is not being used, we need to use lazy instantiation. To be honest, there is not much different from both implementations. The main difference is that our static variable instance equal to null, and is only, how you can see here, is only instantiated with the getInstance method if and only if the instance variable remains null and at the time of the check. Here, how you can see, I created the class lazy singleton. I created the initialize the instance as null. Also, I created the private constructor. And here I just check if the instance is null. If it's so, here we just need to create an object. This fixes only one problem, but another one still exists. For example, what if 2 different clients access to our program? They will check if the instance is null at the same time and will find it's true. And so we'll create 2 instances of the class for each request by the 2 clients. And to fix this, we just need to use thread safe singleton. In Java, how you can see here, firstly, I created the class thread safe singleton. I initialize the instance as null. I created the private constructor, and here I just check if the instance is null within a synchronized block. If it's true, we create an object. How you can see here, we have a new keyword synchronized. In Java, the keyword synchronized is used on a method or an object to implement thread safety, so that only one thread will access as a particular resource at one time. The class instantiation is put with a synchronized block, so that the method can only be accessed by one client at the given time. But there will be but the overhead of the get instance or the synchronized method is high and reduce the performance of the whole operation. For example, if the instance variable has already been instantiated, for each time any client access to the get instance method, how you can see here, and the synchronized method is run, and our performance drops. And this just happens in order to check if the instance is null. Instance variable value is null. If it finds it is, it leaves the method. And to reduce this, we need to use double blocking. Here, I just need to change get instance double blocking. Here, I just want to add if instance equal null, brackets, and close it. Here, we just checks is this checks is used before the synchronized method as well. And if the value is null alone, that's the synchronized method run. So this is three types of implementation of the singleton design pattern. The next one, we need to talk about the builder design pattern. Builder design pattern is another creational pattern designed to deal with the construction of comparatively complex object, and when the complexity of creating object increase, the builder design pattern can separate the instantiation processes by using another object or another builder to construct the object. And the builder can be used to create many other similar presentations using a simple step-by-step approach. And the third one design pattern is the factory. The factory design pattern delegates factory design pattern define an interface for creating an object, but let subclass decide which class to instantiate, and factory method lets a class defer instantiation to subclass. If we are checking our example, here I want to open my example of notification. Here I created the class, another class interface with notification name, and it helps the user get any new email or new message for their application, and it will notify them by using function notify user. And also I created three classes, SMS notification, push notification, and email notification, that implements everything, every method, every function that we created as the interface notification. So also I created the notification factory class, and inside this class I created the function create notification, where we are using if condition and switch condition. inside the notification service, I just create and get an object of create class by passing some information. And if we run our program, we can see sending an SMS notification. For you, it will be better to start doing the solid principles, because while you're doing this, it will be more easier to implement, for example, factory design pattern, or to include singleton design pattern. Do you have any questions about design patterns, or about the assignment, or about the intern, or about the final exam? Any questions?
Final will be quiz. Also.
Final will be multiple choice quiz.
About lectures, all lectures.
All lectures, yeah.
Okay.
We will have the same questions like on the quiz.
Yeah.
The same questions, yes.
A little bit same, but maybe I give you some samples about these questions, but without answers, okay?
Okay.
Oh, another question?
So we need to include these design patterns in our fourth assignment?
Yeah, it depends on how much members you have as a group. You need to, for example, if it's 3 of you at the group, you need to include 3 design patterns. You can duplicate it, for example, 2 singleton and 1 factory, or 2 factory and 1 singleton. It doesn't matter. Overall, it needs to be 3.
3
If you have 3 team members.
principles, yeah?
Yeah, 3 principles and only 3 design patterns, and only 2 solid principles without single responsibility, because by default you already have it at your project.
When we have our assignment defense? On Thursday?
Depends at the next week when there will be 2-hour lesson.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Because we have lesson at Monday, right? Yeah, but at the next Monday there will be a term quiz.
Okay.
So, another